Welcome to another edition of A Chapter a Day Keeps the Doctor Away. My name is Alan, otherwise known as Hisui, and I am from ReverseThieves.com as well as the Speakeasy Podcast. And this time I'm going to be talking about One Piece, Chapter 731, otherwise known as Operation Dressrosa SOP. And this episode could also be considered, man, a lot has happened in One Piece in over a decade's worth of comics, and every once in a while I can't remember it all. Thank goodness that One Piece is really kind of taken off in the United States, and therefore the One Piece wiki is pretty up to date. So I can look these things up and go, yeah, okay, and I don't have to just look through random GeoCity sites like one would have to do way back in the day. So thank goodness for this this modern wiki time. But after the last chapter, I thought we had all the big revelations. I thought, all right, we now know everybody who's going to be involved in this chapter, and everybody has where they're going. Thereby, you're not going to see any big things going on. And that was totally not the case. I mean, I was still, whoa! But it actually took me a little while to go, whoa! Mostly because I kind of read this kind of first in a half stupor. I don't want to go too much into what I do for a living, not because it's like secret or something, just because it's not very interesting and not very cool. But we're really busy this time of year, and I have to go into work insanely early to do newspapers, and then I pretty much just work for the next 9 hours on just stuff. So I'm kind of beat at the end of the day every day up until the end of the year and a little past that. And so when I read this chapter of One Piece at work in the last 10 minutes, I was just it was just too much and a little too me having to remember old stuff, and I was just kind of sleepy as it was, and I was like, well, this is a little too much for me. I mean, usually One Piece is my casual fun reading, but when I'm fading out like this, I gotta just come back to this when I get home. And then I was still beat when I got home, so I was like, you know what, tomorrow's another day. And so I looked at the chapter, and once again, the first 3/4, I was like, all right, this is all really easy. And then some big, basically after Luffy makes what I like to call the NL face, which is, the greatest reaction face in all of One Piece. I'm like, what is he reacting to? I know I should know this. And then I read the chapter, I'm like, oh, wait, oh, shoot, oh my gosh. Wow, how did I miss this? I mean, this should have been woo. And 2, wow, that is some big stuff. So, but before we get to that, the chapter seems, like I said, it seems like everybody's kind of getting into the position, and it starts off kind of how you expect it to. Bellamy is just, being kicked to death, and you're like, go, weird cross-dressing guy. Because not that I really like you or dislike you, I just really want Bellamy to die. So, hopefully, if you can just kill Bellamy, then I can't say you'll be my favorite One Piece character, but I can't say I won't have a little sympathy for you. But nope. Bartolomeo saves him with this barrier, and apparently he has some kind of, bond among warriors, and he's like, I'm not going to let you beat this guy to death. We fought each other on the battlefield. Now we're pals. And man, this guy kind of seemed like a crazy psychotic at first. And not that he's totally sane, but man, they really kind of warmed this guy up. That he is totally not the kind of super evil dude that we thought he was. He's kind of like a dangerous delinquent. He's definitely not a good dude, but he's not the like super evil dude we thought he was. And so yeah, Luffy's number one fanboy saves him, and then he runs into Luffy, and Luffy, wants to get out of the Coliseum and all of that. But while that's all going on, we learn a little more about the plan to take down the factory and, change all the toys back into people and restore people's memories and put the rightful king back on the throne and kick jerky-faced Don Flamingo out of the country. And, it's fairly standard. We do learn that the girl who changed everybody into toys is this little girl named Sugar, but she's not really a little girl. She's actually she doesn't age anymore after she ate the devil fruit. And man, if this was any other manga, I know everybody, and I'm sure still lots of people like, oh no, a lolly character. This is just to appeal to lolicons. But I feel like with One Piece, I have a little more faith that, there's not going to be any sexualization of this character. She's just going to be like a super disturbing little girl. Like all the kind of ferocious evil of little kids with kind of all the experience and kind of, older evil of a grown character. So, interesting fight. I'm kind of curious. She's obviously dangerous beyond being able to just turn people into toys. So I'm kind of curious how else her power works. But that's for now. Other than that, they're basically preparing for the battle. Usopp seems ready to beat up on a little kid. But if you've met enough little kids, you will appreciate Usopp's sentiment. And I do like how, once again, everybody kind of makes tokusatsu poses at the end of the meeting. Frankie, Usopp, and, the toy soldier. And Robin is just like, I'm not having any part of this. I am a dignified lady. I do not make silly tokusatsu poses. And man, I always knew this, but her current dress that she's wearing now really makes you realize that, like, Robin is like 90% leg. If you have a leg fetish or a Nico Robin fetish, this is the arc for you. Because I was like, I'm usually an Ami man, but I can't deny the power of Nico Robin's legs in this chapter. And just general arc. But, yeah, Luffy wants to get out of the tournament because as much as he doesn't want anybody from Blackbeard's crew getting Ace's fire fruit, he's got to save Law. And so, Bartolomeo is like, no, dude, I'm like your super, bro. I'll get this fire fruit. You go out and save your friends. Coolest dude in the world. And then just some guy steps out of nowhere and he's like, don't worry, I got this, bro. And you don't see him. And Luffy, once again, makes the crazy face. And then we see Koala. And I was like, who the heck is Koala? And why does she remember Robin? And so this is totally when I had to go and Wikipedia this. And I'm like, oh, she's that little girl from the Fishman Island arc. The little slave girl that got taken in on, like, when they're given the Fishman backstory of the Fishman hero. And I'm like, wow, I had totally forgotten that girl. And I was like, this is a really good story, and it's really entertaining. And I don't know why I didn't realize that girl would come back. Because, like, in retrospect, it's super obvious that that girl, especially One Piece being what it is, that that girl would come back. But I have no idea why I did not think that girl was coming back. Or at least I had totally forgotten about her. And so, yeah, so apparently she's all grown up, which is, unsurprising. And she knows Robin. So obviously we're going to see a little more of what Robin did during the time skip with the revolutionaries. And this girl seems pretty cool. She knows some fishman karate, and she knows our mysterious person and Robin. So it would be cool for them to meet up. And then we find out that the dude who said he would get the fire fruit and made Luffy like totally freak out is fragging Sabo. And I'm like, what? What? Because it took me a while. Like, once again, when I first read this chapter, I was totally out of it. But when I saw the cups, I'm like, what? And then I saw his clothing, and I'm like, oh man, it's Sabo. Man, I'm sorry everybody when I said last chapter that, this wasn't going to be really big and important, because, Koala is interesting coming back. Definitely like an unexpected callback. But Sabo being alive, that's like... I'm really curious to see his character design. And, yeah. So, I don't know what's going to happen next chapter. Maybe now I can safely say everything will not be crazy revelation. But, when we find out, the Secret of Gold Roger next episode, next chapter, I won't be super surprised. Because, after Sabo comes back. But yeah, apparently Sabo's in the Revolutionary Army. And man, part of me, and this is just crazy talk, but it would be kind of cool for Koala and Sabo with the fire fruit to join and kind of be the last two members. I'm not sure that's going to be the case. That seems kind of like the people who always thought that, random person from Skypiea was going to be part of the crew. But, they'd definitely be two interesting characters. If either of them joined, I'd really like another female member of the Straw Hat crew, so Koala joining would be cool. But, that's just like random BS. I'm not I would not put any money other than maybe $1 on that prediction. But, man, crazy chapter. Definitely proving that this arc is for serious. And yeah, when the two emperors and an admiral and several warlords of the sea is kind of like, yeah, that's important, but it's a crazy stuff. Man, that One Piece arc is nuts. So, I guess we're all just braced for next chapter. Alright, see you guys next week.